What's up, P-Seekers? I am Joe Otis from joeislit.com, and welcome to today's edition of Lit Picks. Got my butt kicked again last week. Well, sorry, folks, I haven't recorded my songs yet. I will. I'll be doing Angel in the Outfield or whatever that song is called. I mean, I might try to do DMX. We'll see. I have still have to do some new kids on the block here, but look, I'm trying to turn my fortunes around this week. Hopefully I made some really lit picks, if you will. But my partner here has been everything, all things lit. Everything has been lit the last 3 weeks. He should have went to the casino the past 2 weeks. He would have definitely made some money. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my broadcast partner, the one and only legendary Mike Costello. Mike, how you doing?
I'm really off-centered right there. I'm doing fantastic. 10-4 last week brings my record up to 30-21. I am stoked, and you're going to have to make up 3 songs after I give you another butt whooping this week. So I'm pretty pumped, actually. This is a tough week for me, so I actually don't feel very confident this week, not going to lie.
But so hopefully I'll start a little streak myself.
Yeah. But we play in fantasy, so I think I'd prefer to beat you in fantasy than win this week in this. So we'll see what happens.
Why is that?
I mean, fantasy is just more important to me. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, moving on, it's Lit Picks Week 7. And, I can't believe it's Week 7 already. I can't believe we're halfway done the season almost.
It's going by fast.
2 weeks for the halfway point. This has been one crazy NFL season. And once again, guys, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. And you can definitely help the show out if you are sharing us, liking us, commenting, do what you can. Get us some likes out there. Share this with your friends. It's a public video, so anybody can see it. Let's get back to the rules now. So if you pick the underdog, that's 3 points and up, so I'll get you 4 points. If you pick the underdog less than 3 points, I'll get you 3 points. The spread will get you 2 points. The over-under will get you 2 points, and the favorite will get you 1 point. Are you ready to go, Mike?
Let's rock.
All right.
What we got?
Moving on to Week 1, it's the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Look, guys, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here when I say that the Jets stink. They are absolutely terrible. Their coach is awful. We got a comedian coming in here already. Half of 17 is 8. Yeah, I know, Bob, but it's not. We're almost at the halfway point.
I did not do very well in math, judging by my 0 out of 50 test that I had when I was a junior. I don't remember.
So yes, I mean the Jets are terrible. The Bills are probably going to win this game. But, I mean, I'm not really confident in them covering because it's a divisional matchup. And these teams always play each other tight, even though the Jets are terrible. And it's hard for me to take the points. So I'm going to take the Bills in this one, but I'm going to take on the money line at minus 530. Maybe that's, a cowardly move on my end. But I got to be conservative at some point. I've risked it a lot, but there are some games I have to be conservative, and this is going to be conservative. What do you think?
So, yeah, the Jets are bad. 10.5 it's like I've never seen a team that every single week that a team plays against them, they're double-digit dogs, and it's constantly and it hits every single time because like Miami last week, 24-0, and I mean it's just unbelievable. So I am definitely going here. I'm going with the Bills. I still think the Bills are an overrated team, but I got to take them here. I mean minus 10.5, 2 touchdowns. They should easily beat them. If they don't, then oh well. But yeah, 10.5 seems like a lock.
I mean, the Bills may be a little overrated, but I mean, against the Jets of the world, I don't think they're.
Yeah, nobody's overrated against them.
Oh, look at this freaking guy. Well, we're not getting into politics in this one, but everyone go out and vote, as they say. All right, our next game is the Green Bay Packers versus the Houston Texans. I think the Packers are probably going to destroy the Texans in this game. But, I mean, I think it's going to be a shootout, but like a double-digit win. So that's why I'm taking the over in this one. I mean, it's an indoor game. The Packers, they're a very good offensive team. Aaron Jones, I believe, is injured this week, so I'm not really sure if he's going to play or not. But Jamal Williams, he's a decent running back. I think he'll get the job done. And I mean, 57.5, it is a pretty high number, but I think I'm confident with the over. I'm thinking this game's going to go something like, maybe 38-30. What do you think?
I had no idea Aaron Jones was injured. Okay, yeah, he's questionable. He'll play. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about that, but yeah, that's a good one. I think the over could be done. I think, yeah, it's definitely going to be a high scoring affair. I actually don't know if it's going to go that high. I'm predicting like a 30-20 kind of game. I do think Green Bay comes out on top. I picked them last week, and wow. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm going back. I mean, it's Rodgers. I didn't expect them to come out after a bye and just get destroyed. So they have to do a bounce back here, and I'm going with Aaron Rodgers here.
All right, next game is the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. I mean, the Panthers, they're pretty impressive under Matt Rule, as I said last week. I mean, as a new coach, it's only a matter of time, though. I feel that the teams are going to start figuring them out. They're playing the Saints this week now. I mean, this is a little bit better team than what they're used to. So I'm going to go with the Saints -7, the Saints covering. I think maybe that week off will be useful for Drew Brees. He doesn't have much of an arm anymore, but I mean, I even though that Michael Thomas is going to be out this week, and then supposedly Emmanuel Sanders got the COVID, I still think the Saints are going to win. I like Alvin Kamara. He's an amazing running back, and I think the Saints have too many weapons on offense for them to lose. What do you think?
So when I first saw this, it was 7.5. And I was hammering the Panthers right away. I think that the Panthers, technically, I think that the Panthers are a very good team. I think that these lines haven't caught up to them yet. If you look every single week, they just seem to be dogs and dogs and dogs. And I'm just going to keep going with the Panthers here. I liked it when it was at 7.5. I'm taking them straight up. But for this game here, I'm taking them at +7 just to take the points because, what am I going to get? 2 points, 2 points. Might as well take it just in case something slips up because Alvin Kamara is just amazing. But I'm taking the Panthers here. And like I said, I think they actually win this game straight up. The Saints, said Michael Thomas is out. Sanders is out. It's going to be the Kamara show and the Murray show and, I guess Traquan Smith. But I just think the Panthers are going to be able to figure things out. They're a good football team. They're a solid team, and I think they're going to win.
Let's go to the comments. So Bob likes the Packers in the last game. Says Rodgers has a red ass after last week. That's actually a good point. I mean, whenever they get their asses kicked, Aaron Rodgers comes back always, full force and somehow always wins and dominates the next week. I got a question from me. Is it a hot dog, a sandwich? I'll say yes. No, it's not a sandwich. What do you think? I'm going to say no on that one.
I don't think it is a sandwich because does it close? I don't know. Bottom line is, I don't really eat hot dogs. I am not a fan.
I never knew that about you.
Yep.
Let's see. Is it a gat dog? What the hell is this? Does Breeze throw a better deep ball than Tony Baloney? I think he does. All right. Moving on to the next team. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Tennessee Titans. This is probably the game of the week. I'm not really sure why they didn't make this the Sunday night game if they were going to take out the Raiders and the Buccaneers. I mean, a lot of people want to watch this one. The last two undefeated teams in the league. We have the Steelers and the Titans. I think that the Steelers are looking really good. They got this Chase Claypool that's really good. He's taking over for Juju as a star wide receiver on Pittsburgh. James Conner's looking pretty good. The defense is amazing as usual. Big Ben kind of looks like his old self. But I really love Tractor Cito. I think that Derrick Henry, man, he's incredible. He's going to probably knock some of these defenders on the ground like he did to Josh Norman last week. So I'm going to take the Titans, but -1.5. I want to get the points on this one. They are the favorite. I'm going to lay the points. It's not very much. So what do you think, Mike?
So in this game, this is a tough one here. I really think that Pittsburgh's going to win this game. I think that, Titans are a very well-coached team, but I don't know. The problem that's happening, I think this is in Tennessee, right? I think it is. And I don't know. I'm just for some reason I mean, Big Ben doesn't play well on the road, but for some reason I just think he's going to. So I'm taking the Steelers here straight up. I think that they're going to win this game. I think there's a lot of hype. Bush injury was huge, I think, to the Steelers that did hurt them. But Taylor Lewan's injury to Tennessee, I think, is even bigger. And I think that I think that Tannehill is going to be in for a rough day here, as there's a lot of pressure coming out here.
All right. Got a question for you from the crowd. Why didn't Hannibal attack Rome after the victory at Cannae?
It was already answered by Mr. Ziegler over there.
Oh, that's what he says.
You know,
You have enough troops in ancient warfare. You needed to have around a 3-1 troop advantage to successfully seize a city, especially the Suns.
Good movie, by the way.
Titans are going to win by 3.
That's fine. That's not going to happen.
All right.
Because Gostkowski's got to make the field goal. He's on my fantasy team, which means who knows?
Well, he's on your team in our league against me?
I think so.
All right.
I don't even know.
It's the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Man, the Browns really laid an egg last week for me. I took them, and they looked terrible against the Steelers. They got blown out. So I really don't want to roll with them this week again. And the Bengals looked pretty good last week. They covered the spread, but they kind of blew it in the end there. So I'm not really comfortable with taking them as well. That's why I'm going to take the over at 50.5. Like, it's not that very high of an over and under on this one. So I'm taking the over. I think this game could go maybe 35-20, something like that. But I think the Browns are going to win the game, though. But I like the Bengals too. They have a pretty decent offense. But I like Joe Burrow. He's developing into a solid quarterback. Of course, he's being the number 1 overall pick, but he doesn't really have an offensive line blocking for him, I don't think, yet. And that's something they'll probably end up building on the offseason. But right now, I'm going to take the over. That's why I don't have much confidence picking out of these teams to win. What do you think?
So originally, when you said you were going with the over, I thought it was like a terrible pick. And then I looked at it and I was like, I don't think the Browns have let up under 30 points yet this year. So it kind of makes sense that the over is going to hit because the Browns apparently just let up points. They were disappointing last week, which I predicted was going to happen. The concern that I have is that Baker's still hurt. He just didn't look good. Obviously, he got benched halfway through, and I don't know how hurt he is. Landry's injured; he might not play. Mixon's out, so Gio's going to be in there. So I'm going to take the Browns here. I think the Browns do win this game. I think the Bengals are just that bad of a team. The first time these teams played, I think the Browns had like 200 some rushing yards, so it didn't have to rely on Baker anyway. And, I can see that going with Kareem Hunt the same way. So I'm taking the Browns here straight up. I think they win this game, and they're still an overrated team.
Looks like Pat says bet the farm on the Browns. And Bob says the Bengals win an upset, and Mr. Rose pops on their blood vessel in his eye after too much Crown Royal. Did that really happen?
That I don't know.
Oh, my God. All right. Moving forward, it's the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington football team. I took the football team many weeks in a row, and I really can't do it again. I mean, they freaking Riverboat Ron screwed me over last week. Freaking jerk going for a 2-point conversion. We could have went to overtime. So I'm going to take the over. It's 44.5. Like, that's not that many. And I said the same thing last week when the Giants played the football team. I almost said the R word. Then when they played the football team last week, it was I think it was over-under was 43, and it went under. So, but I mean, I think 44.5 is decent. Hopefully Zeke Elliott runs all over the football team. These teams both stink. I think Andy Dalton's way past his prime, and he's not that great at the backup. Like, everyone thought he was going to be a great backup, but he really hasn't been. He looked pretty sad last week. So
it was also Monday night, and he doesn't play well on Monday night.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. But yes, I'm going to say take the over on this one. What do you think, Mike?
So I actually don't like the over on this game. I just look at this. These two teams are really bad. It's kind of like the Eagles Giants last night, had the under on that one. It's just two bad teams don't make it right. The NFC East is awful. Somebody might actually make the playoffs winning 5 or 6 games, which I don't think I've ever seen before. But I'm going to go with Dallas here straight up. They're down by a point. They're at +1. So I'll take them. I'll get the 3 points or whatever for this. Huh?
That's really weird that they're the underdogs.
Yeah, it was even. It was even, and then because you had this like 2 weeks ago, but they're the +1 now, so I'm just going to take them to get the 3 points that I need. But it's going to be. I'm actually torn with this because it's going to be tough here because I'm worried about Washington's rush defense. The Dallas's line's decimated. Zach Martin's out. The right tackle and the left tackle are both backups, which means you're going to have Chase Young, coming after him. So, I mean, I am concerned about this game. That's why I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I'm hoping that Zeke bounces back. I mean, it's going to be tough, though. He's running behind an offensive line, too, that, Dallas is the same thing with the Eagles. They have not had the same offensive line the whole entire year. And they had, 4 Pro Bowlers or something like that last year, and not one of them in the lineup right now. So I'm still sticking with Dallas. I think that Andy Dalton's going to have enough to kind of go do what he needs to do to hit CeeDee Lamb or Cooper or something like that. And I think this game's like a 19-17, something like that kind of game.
All right. That's our comments we got. Let's see. Look at this. Bob likes Dallas. He thinks Zeke will bounce back. Thank you. I have my team against Costello over here. Hopefully I end up beating him. That's good news. And
well, you better hope he doesn't fumble. If he fumbles, then he's done so.
Why is that?
Well, he fumbled twice last game, and they took him out for Pollard, and they said that he's the starter now. But obviously, you're paying him that much money. I don't think it.
Yeah, right. Next game is the Detroit Lions at the Atlanta Falcons. I think that for this one, don't get. I think a lot of people like to change with Raheem Morris, but I think don't get ahead of yourself. He's the interim coach. They're going to obviously get a new coach at the end of the season. Matt Patricia hasn't been that great for Lions. A lot of people think he's going to get fired soon, but I think they're going to win this one. I really like DeAndre Swift. I think he's a really good running back, and I think he's still going to do well against you this week, Mike, because I have him, of course. So I'm taking Lions in the money line at +114. What do you think?
I'm kicking myself because I specifically said this 2 weeks ago when the Texans and Bill O'Brien was gone. I said, when a team fires their head coach, always take them. And remember when Atlanta fired their head coach, I said everybody should take the Atlanta Falcons. And then last week, I went against my gut, which seems to be getting bigger and bigger every single day and every single week. I went against it, and I didn't take the Falcons. I'm not making that same mistake. I'm taking the Falcons. They looked good. Texans looked sharp last week against the Titans, so it looks like there's a bounce back. I think the Falcons do play for Raheem Morris. He's kind of taken over defensive play calling. They looked a little bit better last week. I'm taking the Falcons.
Let's see. Mike McCarthy looks like someone put a COVID mask on a watermelon. I agree with that.
No idea.
And who eats faster, Mike McCarthy or Joe McCarthy?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the McCarthy.
Yeah,
is that the Senator McCarthy? Which one are we talking about here?
Senator McCarthy?
It's a history joke.
Yeah. I get it. 50s, McCarthyism, all that. Next game is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. This one, the Chiefs, they're the defending champs. They had a little hiccup against the Raiders. We all knew that was going to happen at some point. Chiefs, they still have Patrick Mahomes. Lev Bell will probably make his debut this week. I'm not sure if he will or not, but it's still they're playing Denver. Mike, you said that the weather was going to be bad in this game, so I'm going to take the over though at 44.5 against. He doesn't like that, even though there's going to be allegedly a snowstorm. I'm still taking the over because look, what can it be? What 24 or maybe it could be a route 35-14, possibly.
Could be.
I think the Chiefs are that good. They can still run the ball, and Denver. Is Melvin Gordon playing this week? You wanted me to trade for Philip Lindsay last week on your team, but they're probably going to split carries this week. So I'm going to take the over on this one. I think that 44.5 is definitely not a lot of points, especially with an explosive offense like the Chiefs, regardless of the weather. So that's why I'm going to go with the over. What do you think?
So, first and foremost, I changed this actually when we were backstage of this. I actually had Denver +8 because I really thought that they were going to cover. And then something told me to go to the weather, and I went to the NFL weather, and they're expecting 2 or 3 inches. I don't even know what they're expecting. They're expecting snow. Now, my buddy Pat over there, last year we were in Atlantic City, and Denver was playing, and it was a snow game. And I remember we were going up there, and he says, it's about to snow in Denver. So I went in there and I took the under, and I think I took Denver or something like that, and they played awful. And they played awful and awful and awful in the snow. And it was the same starting quarterback playing in the snow right there. So immediately I switched my pick here to the Chiefs straight up. I don't know really what's going to happen, but I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this game because I still think Denver keeps this game close. If it's only like a couple inches, I don't think it's going to affect things, and I would probably like Denver. But that's why I'm just going to stick here with Chiefs winning this game straight up. I do believe if it's not like a complete winter storm, I think Denver actually keeps this game close and keeps it tight. And let me say something else for all those people out there, like a certain someone in this room that, well, not in this room because we're, anywho, they're talking about CEH. He will be fine. He is still going to get 65% of the snaps. All right, Le'Veon Bell is on that team, but he is not going to be a complete workload guy. I'm fine. My fantasy team is fine, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be fine.
I actually agree with this. Denver should go back to the Orange Crush and mix the Orange Crush with the old granddad.
Oh, some bad nights with that.
Well, yeah, I love the Orange Crush. There's the hat on mine. It was the Broncos hat. The NFL fan shop, which was the Orange Crush, but, looked pretty fucking cool. Let's see. Kaz would always pick the weather of snow in Madden 97.
Darn right. Can't throw.
All right. Moving on to we're continuing on with the afternoon games. We have the San Francisco 49ers and the New England Patriots. Look, guys, the 49ers had no heart when they played the Dolphins. They got absolutely destroyed a couple of weeks back. I thought they rebounded last week very, very nicely against the Rams and beat the Rams on Sunday night, which, you picked, Mike, to cover the spread, and they did. They won the game. So this time I'm going to actually take the 49ers because I love George Kittle. George Kittle is incredible. He's awesome. He's the man. I'm looking for him to get another game with a lot of points against the Patriots here. I don't know if the Patriots are the same team. I mean, is this the downfall of Bill Belichick? Is Cam Newton not getting the job done? We'll find out. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I did predict that last week. I said that the Niners are going to play, and people were telling me that I was crazy. They're like, dude, they got destroyed by the Eagles. They got destroyed by the Dolphins. There's no chance. And I said, just watch. This is the NFL. And I told you there was something funky about that line, and it happened. I'm going Patriots here. I'm putting the eggs in here in Belichick. Now, the Patriots, they're not a good team. They're not a good team. I don't really know, but for some reason, I'm just going out here on a limb, and I'm going to say that they're going to win this game. Belichick's going to find a way to somehow win this game. And without Mostert, I mean, the Niners, Shanahan's a good coach. He's going to find something to do here, but I'm just going to go out on a limb here and think that Patriots are going to somehow shut down Kittle, and they're going to win this game. So I'm taking them with -2.5 and just going with Belichick.
Well, even with the Niners missing both safeties this week, I'm still taking them. I just think they're going to pull it out.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. I was just looking at Pat. Same thing. The Patriots, remember, didn't get the practice for 2 weeks, but I'm starting to think that if you look at practice, though, maybe practice doesn't matter because the Titans didn't practice either, and they came out and just destroyed. But I don't know. I got confidence here in the Patriots here. I think they do. They come away with this one. I don't think it's a high-scoring affair here, but I think they're going to win.
So Pat says the Patriots haven't been able to practice for 2 weeks. They will be better this week. Another comment from Bob. I like the Pats too. And look at this guy making his debut, Romello Proetti. This is the best show on Facebook. I'm betting the Patriots parks tomorrow against everything, I believe.
It's because the Vikings have a bye.
The Vikings have a bye. That's right. He's a big Anthony Miller fan, this guy. All right, so we got the next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Los Angeles Chargers. Doug Brown still has a job right now, which is, I guess, good for him. Gardner Minshew, he looks okay this year. He's not a freaking MVP. And, the defense has been getting rid of people left and right. They still have Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen, the defensive player, is supposedly really good, the second-year pro. And they still have Miles Jack as the last player from that defense. But, they're playing the Chargers in Los Angeles. Against my better judgment, I'm taking the Jaguars plus 7.5 on this one. 7.5 is a lot of points. I don't even know who runs the ball for the Jaguars. They have that guy.
James Robinson, man. He gets every single carry almost.
Yeah, that's right. They had some other guy. I remember I drafted him in the 15th round of fantasy, and he ended up getting COVID, so he never freaking used him. So The other guy, I don't know, Ryquell Jackson or something. I don't know who he is, but I'm taking the Jaguars 7.5 because that is a lot of points, especially for a young quarterback like Justin Herbert. I think at one point he's in that bad game. I think it's this one. What do you think?
So I think that I am extremely confident with this game, and I think that the Chargers win this game easy. I think the Jags are just bad. The team's just given up. Herbert, he's awesome, dude. Keenan Allen's there. Mike Williams is back, is huge with the deep threat. Justin Jackson, Joshua Kelly, Hunter Henry. I just think the Chargers are too much. The Chargers have been covering a lot lately. They've been doing a great job. The problem is that the Chargers can't really close games out, which does concern me here because it's that half a point right there where like something's going to happen. Well, they'll be up like 13 or 14 and something's going to happen. And his team, late touchdown scores the game and they win by 7. But I just Minshew's been playing very poorly, which, I think he's a good quarterback. He hasn't really been doing that well. But I think the Chargers win this one pretty easy.
All right. Let's see. Best week of football is when the Vikings have a bye.
It's a down year for them. They'll turn it around.
This game is like when Steiner would play McCourse in early '90s CBC action. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's actually good. That's actually an accurate assessment, I would think. All right, on to the next game. It's probably the game of the week for most people on Sunday Night Football. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Arizona Cardinals, and I think that this is going to be Kyler Murray's coming out party because I love Kyler. I freaking talk about it every week. I understand that, folks. I talk about him, and he's my favorite quarterback. He's awesome. He freaking runs incredible. He's like a freaking gazelle the way he slides and avoids getting tackled. He has an amazing arm. I really like the Cardinals. I think he's going to bring him to the next level. And in this one, I'm going to take the Cardinals on the money line at plus 155 because, as I always say, you got to risk it to get the biscuit, and that's what I'm risking it this week. They're the underdog. And, they're home, and I really like them. I think that the Seahawks are due to lose a game, and I think this is the game they're going to lose. What do you think, Mike?
So, yeah, I think that this is a tough game. I don't know. I regret picking mine. Arizona's a better team than I remember 2 weeks ago, I predicted that Arizona was going to go to the Super Bowl in the NFC. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. That was a huge injury with Chandler Jones. But they don't cease to amaze me. And I think, looking at numbers, I think that they can definitely keep it close. But I'm going with Russell Wilson, best quarterback in football. I'm taking the Seahawks here at minus 3.5. I'm not confident with this game. It's a best by better judgment. Originally, I had the Cardinals cover in this one. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to flip it here and go with the Seahawks at minus 3.5, going against everything that I basically have looked at. But I'm just going to try and go here with the Seahawks minus 3.5. And if I win, I win. Good question there from Mr. Pro Eddie over there. So that's a good call. I don't like the Rams game as much. What I would do is if you're going to tease that, I would do the Chargers and I would tease the Steelers up as well because plus 1.5, I do not think that the Titans are going to beat them by 7. So I think that the teaser that you can do is the Chargers, take the Chargers down and then move the Steelers up. That's a good one for you.
All right. And in our last game, it is on Monday Night Football. You got the Chicago Bears, you got the Los Angeles Rams. This is like an old school game. It reminds me of like the 80s here. When you got Mike Singletary and you got freaking Richard Dent and Refrigerator going against the Rams and Jim Everett. And, I like that defense. I like Khalil Mack. They're not really good on offense, even though they got, Nick Foles. I don't think they're really any world-beating offense, the Bears. But I think the Bears are going to shut down this Rams offense. I'm going to take the Rams, though, plus 5.5. I don't have the courage of taking them on the money line on this one. But I'm going to take the points 5.5 on this one. What do you think?
I had no idea where to pick here. The problem is that you don't know which Rams team is going to come out to play. And that's exactly like last week, I had a feeling that they weren't going to come out and play this game. And that's why I decided that I was going to go against the Rams and pick the Niners. This week, I just have no clue. And that's why I'm going with the under here. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think the Bears' defense kind of shuts them down. They can hold them to about 20 points right there. The Rams can come up and put 20 points, 23 points. I really don't know in this one, but I'm going to take the under here and think that this is going to be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be any big plays. So I'm hoping that this game just kind of slows down and goes with the under.
And folks, nothing on the line we have for Tampa Bay and the Raiders. I didn't
Tampa.
have it. What's that?
No matter what, even if those linemen played, Tampa.
You're taking you think Tampa's going to win? Okay.
I'm taking Tampa no matter what. Whenever the points time, Tampa.
That would be ridiculous if they had to go to different linemen. I mean,
yeah, it might be played Tuesday. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
That's completely ridiculous for the Raiders. I mean, come on. I mean, they had to bye last week. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so it's mega parlay time, folks. This is the end of the show. I'm taking Dallas, Washington with the over 44.5. Lions plus 114, the Cardinals plus 155, and the Bears plus 5.5. That'll be plus 1891. That's a heavy action for you, folks. So you put in this parlay, get to put some units in, you can get a lot back. It's almost double your investment. Almost 20 times your investment if you put that in. So what are you thinking for yours, Mike?
I want to fact check there and just make sure that Bob you've done the math correctly. All right, like you didn't do at the beginning of the show.
I don't know.
You know, math is not my forte. So I'm taking here like these are the confident games that I'm in right now. I'm very confident with the Packers minus 3.5, the Panthers plus 7, the Steelers. I'm riding that straight up, and the Chargers at minus 7.5. These are my most confident picks. The other ones I'm like on, but this one I'm pretty confident. So I feel pretty confident with these 4 choices here. So.
And I'm not buying the Bears. Love the Rams here. We got Pat or Bob with the why doesn't Tom Brennan do Monday Night Football anymore? Did he ever do Monday Night Football? Oh God, left field. It's Castillo with the home run. See, we got where else can you hear a show that references Jim Everett? Chris, probably Jim Rumshaw, I would think. And we got the Raiders backup line is still better than the Eagles line. It's probably true. Time for a karaoke punishment. Let's see what we got here. So I'm going to keep what I had last week. I'm going to go for My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. I mean, I would love to hear him sing that. Near, far, wherever you are.
I do know the song now.
He does know the song.
Yeah.
And Mike's punishment for me will be Little Surfer Girl by the Beach Boys.
Yeah. So I decided that when I win this week, actually, I don't know. I'm not as confident this week, but when I win this week, because I'm going with it, I'm going to decide on Wednesday. We're going to post something up where I'm going to have 4 songs to choose from. I have a song that I really want him to sing because I think it would be really funny. I've been easy on him, except for the Andrea Bocelli that he had to do last year. But there's a song that I really want him to sing. But I'm going to pick 4 songs, and you guys will get to vote on which song you would like him to perform. So. I mean, he still owes 2, so we're still waiting for those.
I'm sorry, guys. It's been a busy week for me. All right, go easy on me. All right, so I can probably get those songs up by tomorrow at some point. I got some things on Go Girl. I think I'm gonna do the one that Bob wanted, so I'll just pick. I don't even know what's called. Angel in the Morning.
What was it? Yeah, I forget what it was called. It was a country singer. That's all I remember.
All right, well, this is the end of the show, folks. Enjoy the weekend's action. Please remember to like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Tell them to watch from the hottest show on Friday nights. And Mike, what can you tell everybody to do?
Stay lit. And that's
all right. We'll see you next week, folks.